There is nothing worse for a scout than spending languid hours before going out on a mission. At such moments, various thoughts about the integrity of one's own skin, about fate playing eagle and tails with a man, and the mental fatigue, which had fallen from nowhere, presses in one's head. But as soon as you are out of the front line and the work starts, all the sleepiness goes away, deep philosophy pops out of your head, and you become a nimble, grown-up guy, loaded for the job, like a reliable and shotgun. This time my guys, who were sluggish and kind of sleepy in the trench, as soon as they left the trench transformed into real leopards. They walked elastically, softly, inaudibly and silently, like ghosts. In front, right behind the head sentry, is a group of capture, behind the cover. Germans now and then launch flares, but we are not worried. We know that they shine mainly for order and their own peace of mind, because the Krauts are afraid of the dark. We note that from the side of one hillside there are no rockets. This is good, it means that they are not waiting there. Here is the isthmus between the lakes, water on the right and left. Climbing through the isthmus with the whole platoon is a stupid thing to do. We can make a lot of noise and spoil the whole operation. The cover commander says that he will not go further with us. They will stay here and cover us from here. Further on, our foursome diligently grinds pebbles and stones on the isthmus with their bellies. We are rattling like sea surf in calm weather, but everything goes safely. Ahead, about 30 meters away, there are dark wire fences. We get close, lie down, and pulling out scissors, start to bite one barbed thread after another. It turns out classically quickly and quietly. One scout carefully does his job, grabbing the cut ends of the wire from both sides of the scissors and then sticks them in the ground. Otherwise the wire will alert even the most careless sentry with its nasty ringing. We climb into the passage one by one, and further we move by ledges. Before the German trenches are 40 meters, we crawl slowly, freezing and listening after each movement. A small rise, and my hands feel the elastic cushion of turf on the trench berm. What's in the trench is unknown. My heart is pounding frantically, trying to jump out. But there is no fear. I give myself a second's respite, rise on my hands, pick up my feet, and jump into the dark hole of the trench. Immediately I distinguish how a few meters away from me on my right a stout figure of a German rises confusedly. I rush to him, expecting to stun him with a rifle, but at the same moment I received a powerful blow in the face and flew to the ground. There was a fog in my head, and when my consciousness cleared up, I saw that the second scout was flying from the German in the same manner. I don't understand what the matter is, but I see that the German is unarmed. Then, clasping a knife in my hand, I jump forward again. Sparks in my eyes, and I am again at the bottom of the trench. I get up and see how our giants, the largest scouts, press Hitlerite to the ground, and he, breaking free, pulls his hand to the signal wire. I run up and angrily hit the Kraut on the head with a dagger handle. The German mumbles, but still manages to grab the wire. I repeat the blow and the German falls silent. There was no time to look around and think. I helped to carry the German's senseless body on my shoulders and waved to the others. We have to go. Everyone runs down to the wire fences, and I, by some sixth sense, force myself to stay on the barrier. I hear how the guys put aside the slingshot with wire and rustle down to the isthmus. And in the trench the boots of fleeing soldiers clatter closer and more distinctly. I threw a grenade in both directions and went tumbling down from the barrier. The barrier is no longer a hindrance, and I run with all my legs to the isthmus. My boots are light and my years are young. I didn't make it, and fortunately, on the isthmus a wall of fire stands the ruptures. Clods of earth, stones and splinters are clattering. I take a sharp right and rush into the dark cold water of the lake. It was easy to swim in the heat of the moment, but it became difficult when my uniform began to get wet, when the air bubbles on my camouflage coat went out, when my body cooled down and my legs and arms became wooden. The tension subsides and devilish fatigue comes. It becomes indifferent what to swim or not to swim. Then I notice that the water around me is foaming with lines. So, the Germans are firing on the lake too. And when I had no strength left to swim, my foot hit a rock at the bottom. A shoal has begun. But I do not get up, and spreading myself in the water, I wade over the bottom with my hands, as it is done by those who cannot swim. It's safer that way. Suddenly someone pulls my right heel. The foot in my boot gets warm, and I guess that I am wounded. Getting to the shore, I determine that I can move if I don't step on my heel. I did not dare to take off my boot and bandage my wound. The Germans continued to fire mortars at the neutral strip in squares. Chilled, wet, and with a hole in my leg, I alone in the dark, among the ruptures is not fun. Gritting my teeth and limping, I walked towards the tentative gathering place. Here, under the rock, the whole platoon. Only one scout is missing. Everyone's alive and well, except for 2 light shrapnel wounds in the cover team. And my heel. There is also a German prisoner here. My appearance did not cause any particular joy or surprise. Everyone thought that it should be so, and my contact did not even turn a deaf ear, continued to tell about the German, how he woke up on his back and Ziegozile, you do not want to be a prisoner. Of course, we put him on his feet and pushed him. Stomp, you bastard, yourself, we are not horses for you. But the Kraut stubbed his toe and twisted his head. So I dumped him in the lake to educate him. I look like I'm going to drown him. He bathed, my little dove, and all the way back, he was as good as harnessed. The scout was boasting of his prowess, and the boys listened to him with pleasure. Having rested a little, I cut the canvas shank, took off the boot and examined the wound. It was bleeding badly, the bullet had gone through and through. We could not bandage it, as the silk bandage kept slipping off. A German prisoner, noticing our agony, offered his services and in half a minute, with the speed and precision of an experienced nurse, made me a neat and pleasantly tight bandage. Everyone looked at the prisoner with astonishment, as at a magician. I asked him where he had learned to dress wounds so well. Oh, you speak German, rejoiced the tongue. You see, I am a doctor, and I got to the front line as a punishment for insulting a high official. In a week, the term of punishment is over, but apparently, there is an evil fate hanging over me. Agreeing that the doctor was really unlucky, I asked him why he did not shoot there in the trench, but only waved his fists. By the will of God, said the German with conviction. I took the machine gun apart at that moment for cleaning. Then it turned out that the German doctor before the war was a first-class boxer and even a prize winner of international meetings in England. And the confirmation that the Kraut was telling the truth was my swollen nose and my contact's black eye, which made him look sideways. In the evening we sent some guys to look for the scout who had not returned, and they brought him wounded by shrapnel in both legs. And in a few hours we were already in our regiment. The regimental commander and the chief of staff praised us for the fact that the tongue had been taken at the first attempt, with few losses, and in addition the tongue was successful, as it gave valuable testimony at the first interrogation.